Hello, friends and fans, and welcome to Aviation today. You and I have been talking about the atmosphere of the Earth, and then we covered the troposphere and the tropopause. And I told you that the next video would be about the stratosphere. Okay, today, before we talk about the stratosphere, we need to have a complete understanding of the lower part of the stratosphere. The lower part of the stratosphere, which is the upper section of the tropopause, and we know about the characteristics of the tropopause. This is where the temperature stops being cool with increases in altitudes, and instead it increases with altitude. So the bottom part of the stratosphere is a very important section of the atmosphere, because if we are able to live on the face of the earth, is because of the protection that we receive from the layer, the section below the stratosphere. And I'm talking about the ozone layer, or we can call it the ozone shield, because as you can imagine, if it was not for that shield provided over us by the ozone layer, we would not be able as human beings to survive on the face of the earth. Also, any other lives on the earth would be in danger. So basically, the ozone layer, or ozone shield, is a region, is a section, okay, of the stratosphere. And what it does, it absorbs most of the sun's ultraviolet radiation that would be very, very, very harmful to all of us on the face of the earth. So the ozone layer, or CO3, uh, you know, has a very high concentration of ozone. Okay, of course, compared to the other parts of the atmosphere, but still not so much of it. When we think of the entire atmosphere, in the stratosphere, the ozone layer is less than 10 is less than 10 parts per million. 10 parts per million, and that's only in the stratosphere itself. But as a whole, in the whole atmosphere, it is just 0.3 part per million. So as you can see, the higher concentration is just in that section, in the lower part of the stratosphere. So let's see, what would be the thickness or the height of the ozone layer below the stratosphere. So let me say that we need to understand that that layer, the ozone layer, is part of the stratosphere. That's the lower end of the stratosphere, and it is actually, I would say, let's say it is about roughly 15 to 35 kilometers, or about 9 to 22 miles above the earth. Okay, that's the height of it, which is also its thickness, above the earth. A little history about the ozone layer that you may be interested to know is that the ozone layer was discovered by two French physicists by the name of Charles Abri et Henri Buisson. Okay, remember the names of the two physicists from France, who discovered the ozone layer. Charles Abri and Henri Buisson. Okay, at that time, those two French guys did, they measured the sun, and then the measurement of the sun. In the measurement of the sun, they found that the radiation that coming from the sun in our direction, okay, to the to the surface of Earth is consistent. Is consistent to a black body radiation. Okay, and if you don't know about a black body in relation to radiation, a black body is I would say is an object, or a surface that is capable of absorbing all kinds of electromagnetic radiations. That's the characteristic of a black body. And the average temperature in the spectrum of a black body is about, and listen to this, pay attention, is about 5,500, well, in the range of, I'm talking about the temperature, okay, in a black body, okay, is in the range of about 5,500 K and 6,000. Well, 5,500 K to 6,000 K. Or I'm talking about K, that when every time every time we talk about K, we're talking about absolute temperature. Okay, so now if you convert that to regular temperature scale, 5,500 K to 6,000 K is about 5,230 degree Fahrenheit to 5,730 degree Fahrenheit. So that is hot. That is hot. So there's no way if we were not protected by the ozone layer, okay, by the ozone layer, which absorbs about 97 to 99% of the sun's ultraviolet radiation, we would be in grave danger on the face of the earth. All of us, any life form on the face of the earth would be in great danger. So that's the reason why those two guys, Charles Abri and Henri Buisson, were interested in measuring the radiation emitted by the sun's ultraviolet nature. So, but the only drawback that those two guys uh, encountered in the measurement at the time is that despite the magnitude of the temperature that they were able to measure, you know, they could not find any radiation. There was no there was no radiation. There was no radiation found below a wavelength of a wavelength of about I would say 310 nm. Nm stands for nanometer. So no radiation could be found below a wavelength of about 310 nanometer. So, all right. So there's okay. Henri and Charles, they were like shocked to see that kind of temperature so high did not generate any kind of radiation. So what they did, they continue to study. Okay, they did more research, all that, and they concluded that there was radiation. The only thing is that radiation, okay, was being absorbed by something else in the atmosphere. Now, by what? Okay, that's the only thing they needed to find out. They know for sure something in the atmosphere was absorbing that all the radiation that was related to the magnitude of the sun's ultraviolet emissions, I would say. So after countless of researches, studies, and they finally realized that the ozone layer was the part of the atmosphere, the part of the stratosphere that was absorbing all the radiation coming from the sun. Okay, so that's the way the ozone layer was discovered by those two Frenchmen. Okay, now that was not the end of it, though. Now, a British guy by the name of GMB Dobson you know, observed what Charles. So Mr. Dobson was so engaged in the cause of protecting us from the sun's ultraviolet radiation. He actually created a measuring tool by the name of spectrophotometer, Dobson that could be used to measure the ozone from the stratosphere. And also what he did, he between 1928 and 1958, he created a network of ozone monitoring stations, you know, in order to alert to, you know, to create an awareness all over the world of the danger that the sun's ultraviolet radiation entails. So to these days, those stations all over the world are in operation. Also by 1976, it was discovered that some chemicals coming from the earth up to the air were harmful. They were harmful to the ozone layer, mainly mainly chlorofluorocarbons, CFCs. You know that those chemicals in particular were harmful to the ozone layer, that and they could start to deplete it. They could start to deplete the ozone, and that would actually expose us to graver danger than we could have imagined. So as a matter of fact, those chemicals were at a certain time in 1976 were banned from usage, and as far as the scientific community is concerned, those bans, because of those bans, the ozone layer, you know, is no longer in danger of being depleted. You know, it's because those harmful chemicals have been banned. So there's one thing that that we need to keep in mind. There's a ozone preservation day, you know, in the book, and that was created by the United Nations General Assembly. Okay, and the day for the preservation of the ozone layer that was designated by the United Nations General Assembly is September 16th. Okay, so this is right. We in May, so that date, September 16th, is just around the corner. The day for the day for the preservation of the ozone layer. Circle that date on your calendars so we can appreciate it, because it is for a good cause. It is for a great cause, for our protection from the dangerous, ultraviolet radiation coming from the sun. Also, the Earth is not the only planet exposed well, it's not the only planet that has ozone layer. Venus, for example, has a very slight, very thin ozone layer above it at about maybe I would say 100 kilometers. Okay, so that's it today. That's it for today. We just covered the bottom, the lower section of the stratosphere, which is the ozone layer. So next time we will concentrate on the stratosphere. In the meantime, have a wonderful day.